Yes, we want to have renewable energy, but we also want to, cut down on wind farms, and we want to make sure there is a political reason not to renew Trident, and that is that it costs a fuck ton of money. So if you have reason to believe that regeneration, you get a new regeneration cycle. So the first one is just a renewal. Like, you went from stop investment into renewable energy, so it won't fucking improve. Yeah. I wash. Okay, to fight climate change, we need renewable energy. And here's the fucking beautiful thing about renewable energy, okay?
We build relatively renewable, we build spacecraft that can run on relatively renewable, all non-essential fossil fuel use ASAP, and drastically invest in renewable energy so we can stop the essential fossil fuel use too.
How do we tackle that? Well, we're gonna have a renewable energies tax, but we're gonna keep funding and give money to oil and gas.
And I feel renewed, I feel replenished, and it's not just the mints, it's not
his belongings, but for now, one thing I can recommend is that he is a ready supply of renewable meat. His regenerative abilities defy physics. Well, I suppose I am a fish, and that means you can have a renewable supply of consenting sushi. Laura stared at the mermaid in astonishment.
And what they do is they take the renewable produce from their allotments, from their cows, their chickens, or whatever.
All fucking CO2 production, build more trees, build more renewable energy, because things are going to get bad, and they are going to get very, very, very... We want to encourage fracking and get rid of all renewable energy. We want to burn the mountains.
It's replaceable, it's renewable. We can get rid of this and replace it with glass or whatever. But anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to carbon energy providers to invest in renewable energy, because you can buy a solar panel yourself and have it fit up on your roof. More. Because the more renewable energy becomes viable, the more we build spacecraft that can run on relatively renewable resources, and we have them go out into space and mine the fucking asteroids.
How do we tackle that? Well, we're going to have a renewable energies tax, but we're going to keep funding and give money to oil and gas.
My house running, during the night or whatever. And so the more you invest in renewable energy, the cheaper it becomes, the more efficient it...
And wind turbines, yeah, they need to pay renewable energies tax, In other words, the whole reason that we have the tax to, encourage renewable forms of energy, because they won't have to pay it. No. They've completely fucked. When I woke, I felt renewed. I wiggled my fingers and toes. I had them. I felt overjoyed. Then I heard her voice. Now, with physical books, but you can only renew them from home. You can't actually take them out from home because, 3D
model. But also, the more viable they make renewable energy as a business model, the less viable they make it, because, fundamentally, we need renewable energy regardless of fucking climate change, right?
And it's not very much money at all, but still, that's almost sort of renewed my faith in capitalism. And so, for proportional representation, I would heavily invest in electrical, in renewable energy. I would heavily invest in electric cars. Astoundingly,
awful policies when it comes to renewable energy. They want to increase fracking. They want to...
Libraries are better with e-media because you can download it from home and renew it from home. Yes, you can do it now with regards to fossil fuels. Then you'll be like, hey, make more renewable energy sources because we've got this target to meet.
You know, for hydroelectric power is going to keep generating. Once you set up renewable energy, it's consistent. You make men regenerate, complete cellular renewal. Yes, their personality will get rejigged, and yes, they will look physically.
Creating subsidies for the renewable energy industry. Should we cut funding and subsidies and, you know...
Lucy shook her head. Actually, blood is now a more renewable resource than water, and sylph blood tastes fantastic. Plus, it's the blood of an immortal.
It's kind of hard to charge a price for renewable energy because whilst there are transition costs to renewable
The fracking, and we're gonna completely cut down, and we're gonna be completely renewable electric. You sure about that?
So, at a certain point, we need renewable energy. At a certain point, we need it.
At fighting climate change, at having more renewable energy sources, at cracking down on waste. We are getting oil corporations or what have you invest in renewable energy, then they are investing at some point in the death.
Consent? She asked. I stared at her, a sudden rush of blood bringing a renewed bout of sobriety. I stared.
And here's the fucking beautiful thing about renewable energy, okay? Fossil fuels have to be dug for, mined for, okay?
Full solar or wind turbine or whatever kind of renewable energy national grid, you know, he's already done a video on that. Yes, they have, you know, the fact that they would have to invest so much in renewable energy in order to make it viable as a business model, but also
They've got renewable sources of food, right? In that they've got egg layers, they've got...
Nuke is forced to undergo complete cellular renewal and becomes a woman. And typically what happens, I mean, it's
tax to, you know, encourage renewable forms of energy because they won't have to pay it. No. They've completely
fighting climate change. We are developing more and more efficient means of renewable and clean energy sources.
I may continue it if people like it. No, I don't see why they would, because it is a test and it's rubbish. Those you can hear me above the screen noise, don't even know if you can hear the screen noise actually, but there we go. Or the Reapers in Mass Effect, it's the all must die to feed the cycle to be renewed once again. There's like characters are dying left and, you know, try and help the situation by developing new technologies. You can use renewable energy, like sort of essentially,
and wind turbines,
yeah, they need to pay renewable energies tax, you know. In other words, the whole reason that we have the
final way out, so that they can essentially undergo complete cellular renewal, and red dress, and maybe it was the brandy or the renewed sanity granted by time, but I swear in that moment I fell in love with her. The long ground, and we need an alternative in the long term. We need to invest in renewable energy. We need to invest in electric cars. Others are literally choosing to let their children die, to let adults die of these, you know, renewed preventable diseases because
somewhere else, and I clearly renewed the game far too early, and I am very sorry about that. But we will get there, and we will kill them.
Because whilst there are transition costs to renewable energy, there aren't the same kind of ongoing costs.
People I have drunk from their intestines, and I have seen the world anew. I am Professor Posh Vinny.
Fucking arse, and we actually invested in renewable energy and we addressed, say, the agricultural industry, then we could make things. Transitioning over to a renewable energy based system has a lot of transition costs. But the point is, renewable energy is not something that you can stand in the way of. We need to fight against climate change, to invest in renewable energy, to, apart from anything, even if you don't.
Okay, I might have to consume a healing potion, but oh look, I have the white foil. I have renewable healing potions, and oh look,
Doctor Who has complete cellular renewal. Every element, every cell in the body just divides, and now your body returns to you, and now you are renewed, ready not just for the adventure, but for the new life, for the new friends, for the new home, for the new and like renewable armor, because yeah, I've got fuck tons of iron, but you need to mine for it, and it'd be nice to just